Bring my phone in here to text Amy and see where she's at.
I just emailed him.
So is June at Hubbard now?
Yeah, she, as of Monday, she's been there, and there were some C-Trade update issues and printer installation that wasn't set up. No one's been on that computer basically since it was set up there. So, you know, it was running a version of C-Trade that was like 10 versions old, and Hi, June. Still no ink.
I want 24 hours of snow all winter, and that's it. Yeah. One little foot cat print with snow in it. Nope. Yeah. I can tell he's seen it so much more now. Oh my God, his little loves the snow. Really? He runs out our sliding door like a little kid, and he used to fall. And then all my little dogs won't even go in the yard to pee. They pee on the deck because they don't want to pee in the snow.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and start, but I'm going to go ahead and mute you guys, just because I know Mike's driving and stuff, so I'll just go ahead and mute you guys, and then after I show you the stuff I wanted to show you, I'll unmute everybody so we can have some conversation, okay?
Good.
Cool. All right, so today's topic for our 10 or 15 minutes is we're still on receiving tickets. We've moved from the trade type now to the location of an account. So I'm sharing my screen, so I hope everybody can see this. I know, Mike, you can't because you're driving. But so I have a receiving ticket up. And I chose an account name on here that has multiple locations on the account. So we have an account here called EcoLogic. I think a couple other plants use this too. They bring in a lot of Remington Seeds locations, and you can see how many are on here. So the point of our locations within an account are to make sure, for one, that you're putting the material where it needs to go, and two, that when we have a statement, a monthly statement for settlements at the end of the month, those statements sort by the location. So even people who only have a separate billing location, like say a PO box from their actual service address, if you accidentally choose billing, it's going to put it in a different section on the monthly statement reports. So here's one that I pulled up to show, you know, here's several loads that were put in billing use only, and then the rest of them in the service location for this account, American Fiber Services for Shred It. So when they go to total everything, when we get their statement, then they have to make an extra step to account for the material that's in the billing location and the other location. And then inevitably we get questions from our client, like, what does this mean? Why does it mean billing? Am I getting charged for that? So it just creates a little bit of confusion and some extra steps places. for accounts like this that just have a, one place to bill and the other place is their service. But in cases like this, on our EcoLogic example here, we have various Remington Seeds plants that the material is coming from. And EcoLogic needs to be able to account for the material to each plant. So it's very important to choose the right location of an account for multiple reasons. One being, there could be financial implications on our client's side, and then confusion in the reporting. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you guys. All right, so we have everybody here. Does that make sense to everyone? Does anyone want to comment or say anything?
It makes sense. I've dealt with that before, where if you put the wrong location, it can make a difference. So I definitely.
When we're doing settlements, they definitely look a lot cleaner if we use the right. I mean, we got accounts sometimes I see that use 2 or 3 different locations. And like I think of Terre Haute, like Amphasset is one in Terre Haute. They have a location semi-trailer, but then I'll see stuff come in sometimes under billing there. So,
and that actually, Mike, that you bring up a really good one there. Amphasset and Bemis, and there's just off the top of my head, there's a lot of places. Sony. They have. There's a lot of places that have a different kind of service charge that is based on the location that we're choosing. So sometimes there's a box truck location service fee. Sometimes there's a semi pickup at a different location service fee, or a location like a company might have 2 different locations, and one of them is a lot closer to the plant than the other. So they might have 2 different pickup fees, one for the closer location and another one for the further one. So if you choose a billing location or the wrong service location, it would apply the wrong fee.
State Farm is a good example of that.
State Farm?
Yeah. They have several different locations.
And most of those are different. So like 100 County here. Oh, who's one? I know that there are several that have different kinds of pickup fees based on the location that you choose. So.
Well, Marie, isn't some accounts have POs directly attached to locations and may have a different PO based on the location?
Yeah, there are a few like that as well. So you could end up with wrong pricing as well. There's not many like that, but there are a few. Yeah.
My question would be for the people that run the scales. How do they know, or how can they? I mean, like, I think it's kind of difficult sometimes to know. Hey, this customer has multiple locations underneath it. This one, when I choose the locations, this one doesn't have. How do they manage that, or how do they know when to do that, when not to do that?
A lot of that with me is just trial and error. I mean, sometimes like with, I think it's Area or Allied that brings in FlexiTech cardboard. Like, but a lot of times they'll tell you on the scale too, this is, cardboard from FlexiTech. So you just have to kind of, I mean, some of it's trial and error, and I don't always get it right, I'm sure, but for the most part, they will tell you when they come in if they're bringing something in. Like Allied comes in every morning, they bring in cardboard from Hy-Vee, they'll bring in single stream from IWU, and cardboard from Eastland Mall. So a lot of times they will tell you what they're bringing and where it's coming from.
Right. So with Laura said there, I'm getting back up there. I would say the scale operators, if you have customers like that are consistently bringing in from a location, but it goes under that company, for example, like an Allied, and we don't have the account set up yet that way with that location, you know, if it's a one-time thing, that's one thing, but if it happens consistently, make sure you get that location added so we can put it on there, because it is good information to get back to the customers. They do like to know where, you know, especially the garbage haulers type places, in my opinion, do like to know where those came from.
Right, and often what we're doing for ones that just don't come in all that often, if we don't already have a location, a lot of times the scale operator will put the location in the reference field on the ticket. So if it's not going to happen very much at all, like once a year, we might just do that, because the reference field does show up on the settlement reports. So if you say, you know, this is an Allied load, so, and they told me it's coming from Jewel Asco, but it's not something I've ever even seen before, I might start out with putting it in the reference field, and then if it comes again, then we'll add it to the locations within that account. So I brought up go ahead.
No, it seems like a lot of the accounts I see have two location fields. They have a billing and then they have a service.
Right.
Is the expectation that scale operators should be selecting the service location?
Yes,
when they're
at
receiving
all
material?
times. Right, at all times, if there is another location, a service location separate from a billing location, we should always be choosing the service location. Now, if there's the case where billing also is also a service address, and they also have another service address, you can choose either one based on where that material is coming from. So you'll see like a billing/service, Clinton Boulevard, and then there'll be another service location in the drop down for Main Street or something. Just make sure you're choosing the right one. But if it ever says billing only, billing use only, I don't choose that on a receiving ticket.
I have a question.
Yep.
So Macon County Environmental Management brings in roll-offs from the different towns where there's public drop-off. And we've always just put the name of the town in the reference. Should we go ahead and add those to the location?
If you want to. I mean, their pricing isn't different there. But, you know, it probably would be a 2-second improvement for you guys, Megan, if we just had it in the drop-down rather than having to type it all in the reference field each time.
Well, and especially if, like, they have weird spelling or anything like that, like Moequa or, like, some of the other towns are sometimes hard.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
just to have
think it's a good idea,
consistency.
Megan, to put it in there, exactly. Because what I see is the one person will capitalize Moequa, somebody else will use all capitals, and then it ends up just looking all jumbled up, whereas at least you consistently know what it's going to say if you put it as a location. I think it's a good idea.
I totally agree. That drives me crazy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megan, if you want to send me the different ones that you want, I can add those after the meeting.
Okay, I'll see if I can get a list together.
Okay. And so, like what I was talking about with the service fees, I have like Bemis up here, for example. Now, these happen to be the same service fee amount for $85, but you see how they're related to Compactor 3 paper, and the other one's Compactor 5 OCC. So if you choose the wrong location, you know, there's so many locations with this one. If you choose the wrong one, you could either not have the service fee applied or apply a wrong service fee. So that's just an example for you guys. All right. Any other questions or comments on this topic? Okay. All right. That's it for this. This is recorded, and I'll get it on the training training folder in our YouTube channel as well for anyone to view at a later date if they want to.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
So,
All right. Thank you, everyone.